All right. Well, we have some folks here, some friends, and let's start playing. Hey, folks, I'm really sorry for this mistake. It was my bad. I did something bad with YouTube when it was feeding back, and I stopped it completely. So anyway, I'm Brant Miller, and I don't want to admit it right now, but and this is my friend Vern Culp, and Vern is coming from Alaska, Sitka, Alaska, and I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. So here it goes. I'm going to start out with a song since we're both Sitka friends where we met, and when I was working up there, there's a song called Sitka Liquid Sunshine that I'm going to play for you. There's an island I lived on many years ago, in a village nestled in between the mountains and the shore, with just 20 miles of road between the hemlocks and the waves. We sure logged some miles walking through each other's doors. We'd sing in the galleys gathered all around, with old George's fiddle and the hobbit's mandolin. The wind it would howl and the rain it would pour, but it couldn't douse the fire burning in our souls back then. That Sitka liquid sunshine nearly drove us mad, but it sure brought us together when we were all we had. I still shed a tear under Tennessee blue skies, dreaming of our lives when we were young in the Sitka liquid sunshine. One more fish story down at the Pioneer Bar, washed down with Olympia and chased with our laughter. Then one dark winter's day, the transfer papers came. That ferry took my body, but my heart stayed so long after. In that Sitka liquid sunshine that nearly drove us mad, but it sure brought us together when we were all we had. I still shed a tear under Tennessee blue skies, dreaming of our lives when we were young in the Sitka liquid sunshine. I can close my eyes and be on those docks again, walking by the fishing boats and talking to my friends in boots of red rubber in our Helly Hansen green. Between the rain and bars we never quite dried out, it seems, in that Sitka liquid sunshine that nearly drove us mad, but it sure brought us together when we were all we had. I still shed a tear under Tennessee blue skies, dreaming of our lives when we were young in the Sitka liquid sunshine. I still shed a tear under Tennessee blue skies, dreaming of our lives when we were young in the Sitka liquid We're...
All right, you got me there?
Yeah.
This is a song I wrote after I came up here about 40-some years ago. And I just came up here for a job, had no intentions on staying. And in fact, I didn't even know where Sitka was in Alaska when I got on the ferry boat to come up here. But fell in love with it, and here I am. And I'm going to sing this song. Okay. The path it burned into my feet woke me wide-eyed from sleep, skipping from stone to slippery stone, with one eye wet with passion and one foot on the ground. She took my hand and we escaped this harsh reality called fate, these thin walls of perceptions. They keep tumbling, bumbling, and crumbling into the sea. I guess I better get it right this time. This strange vapor in my dreams pulls me back into the stream. Relics of my life go by in this sweet unweaving and sweet weaving of me. I guess I better get it right this time. I guess I better get it right this time.
Wow. That's beautiful, Vern. There's a lot of stars in this town, you know, in Nashville where I live. And there's a lot of big mansions and homes of the stars, and there's one above all though that I kind of think about and actually drive by it a lot when I go to a place called the Cool Springs Mall. And I wrote this song about that mansion and about that person who lives there. Okay. There's a back road I turn on every time I go from my Nashville home to the Cool Springs Mall. And just a little ways down that shady lane, there's a mansion where I always slow down to a crawl. In all my years of passing, I've never seen a soul, but I know my time will soon be coming round. There'll be no mistaking her curvaceous qualities, whether in a coat of many colors or a sequin gown. I'm looking down Dolly's Drive again, knowing any day I'll see her right here at the end. Cars behind me start to honk, 'cause they don't understand why I'm looking down Dolly's Drive again. She won't know me from Adam when I say I'll always love you, but you'll know right then that I'm her biggest fan. And if my time is right, it just might be my shoulder she cries on that day Jolene finally takes her man. That's why I'm looking down Dolly's Drive again, knowing any day I'll see her right here at the end. Cars behind me start to honk, 'cause they don't understand why I'm looking down Dolly's Drive again. So why not Reba, Faith, Martina, Carrie, Tricia, just to name a few girls? Their stars shine bright, but they can't hold a candle to my Smoky Mountain. Ooh, girl, so I'm looking down Dolly's Drive again, hoping that today I'll see her coming round the bend. Cars behind me start to honk, 'cause they don't understand why I'm looking down Dolly's Drive again. Yeah, cars behind me start to honk, 'cause they don't understand why I'm looking down Dolly's Drive again. Oh, I'm looking down Dolly's Drive again. Dolly
All right,
Parton.
Brant. Sounds good.
All right. So what do you got there, Vern?
So that's a true story. You never seen her?
I've never seen her, and at her mansion or on the driveway, but I always look, and hoping someday I will see Dolly.
You've seen her downtown though, and things like that, right? Or...
No, I haven't seen her downtown. She doesn't walk around town. She's such a big star. I've seen her live a couple of times, which was a thrill. But no, she's probably flying around all the place all the time, and yeah.
Well, I've got this song that I wrote a while back. It's called "Rolled in the Sand," and it's just. It's a little bit abstract. It's just got little fragments of my life over the last, 50 years or so. It's called "Rolling in the Sand." I know the feel. Behind the wheel, when nothing turns, oh, nothing turns. Hey, nothing turns. We are lost on this road, with nowhere to go. Let's go back to the start. and fly high, high with your heart. Fly high, high with your heart. I remember the words to a song I heard one starry night, rolling in the sand, rolling in the sand. Why carry your load down the same road, all covered with ruts, deep in the dust, deep in the dust. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, Vern, that is great. You're sounding great there, and all the way in Sitka. I think we got another. I think we have Louisa joining us here. Slowly but surely, people are getting the word that we're zooming it now because of my little problem there. Anyway, I'm going to do a quirky little song here that I wrote a little while back, and it goes something like this. I punch in at 6 a.m. It's half past dark when I'm home again. The boss says jump, I ask how high. He just points up, so up I fly. I swing for the seats, I shoot for the stars, but when I get too close, he'll raise the bar. A few choice words will escape my lips. I aim to please, but I mostly miss. And I missed that one, didn't I? I found a date through an internet site. My profile must have fit her right. But when we met, she cried foul play. You photoshopped the gray away. I swing for the seats, I shoot for the stars. I'll go to the limit to win their hearts. But Cupid's arrow takes a wayward twist. I aim to please, but I mostly missed. In a perfect world, I would be everyone's best friend. But here and now, all I can do is do the best I can. I swing for the seats, I shoot for the stars, and once in a blue moon, I'll hit that mark. I sure need a raise, and I'd love a kiss. I aim to please, but I mostly miss. I need that raise, and I'd love that kiss. I aim to please, but I mostly miss. I aim to please, but I mostly miss. Here
All
we
right, sounds
go.
good,
I aim
Brant.
to please. And once in a while, I get it right.
Sound good, Brant. I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
Yeah, that's kind of one I've hid away a little bit.
Well, this next song is a song I wrote quite a while ago, and I don't know where it came from or anything like that, but it's kind of a rock and roll song. And the title of it is Buddha Says It's All Right. And it goes sometimes something like this. Well, sometimes life feels so good. I never want to wake and rise. I might wake up, it's all a dream, and you're nowhere inside. But Buddha says it's all right. Christ died on the job, but I'm running out of doors, you see, oh girl. You're my only clue. Or sometimes life feels so bad, I just want to go to sleep and wake up like it's just a dream, and I can get on my feet. But Buddha says it's all right. Christ died on the job, but I'm running out of doors, you see, oh girl. You're my only clue. Oh yeah, only clue. Or sometimes I stand in line all day, and when I get to the end, the man says it's closing time. Come back again, and Buddha says it's all right. Christ died on the job, but I'm running out of doors, you see, oh girl. You're my only clue. Only, 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 only clue. Only, 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 only clue. My only clue.
Yeah, man, that's great. I love that one. I'm sure folks want to know a little more about Sitka and where you are.
Well, I'm in Sitka, Alaska. Sitka is down in the Panhandle. It's not, we don't have any igloos here or anything like that. We're about 800 miles north of Seattle. So it's, in Sitka is located in the largest intact rainforest in the world, believe it or not. And so our weather here is pretty moderate. Every once in a while it gets below freezing. Every once in a while we get some snow in the wintertime, but usually the average temperature is in the 38, 39 degrees in the wintertime, and it gets up sometimes to like 75 degrees in the summertime. So pretty mild weather. It's just great weather, really. We don't have any hurricanes or tornadoes or anything like that. And Sitka is a fishing town, really. It's commercial fishing here. We fish for black cod and salmon and halibut. And anyway, we get a lot of tourism here in the summertime. That's kind of like an overview.
And I want to mention, Vern, you spent a lot of years making your living fishing, right?
Yeah, I commercial fished for about I don't know, 17, 18 years, and retired quite a few years ago.
And then you're an artist, and you also had an art gallery for a number of years.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It was fun doing all that. And I'm retired now, and I really like being retired, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's nice. Find less time to do things when you're retired, like they say, but
yeah, that's for sure.
You're spending it productively. Anyway, Vern and I have known each other for a million years, and hopefully it'll be another million years. But, okay, I'm going to go on and do my next tune. And here's another one tonight I'm just trying to do things that I haven't really done that much, and I've maybe played this out once or something in my life, and I wrote it just a couple years ago. But anyway, I'm going to do a song. It's just kind of a mantra when you're feeling down or you feel like something's not going your way or somebody's done you wrong. This is kind of how I wrote that song. Here we go. You've gotta choose your battles, this I found. When someone does you wrong or lets you down, you have to ask yourself, is it worth the fight? And losing all that precious sleep at night. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Feel the weight lifted from your soul. Have a drink, say a prayer, or tell a little joke. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Please everybody in this world. You gotta move ahead with sails unfurled. If they try to steal your wind, leave them in your wake. You'll soon reach open seas, make no mistake. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Feel the weight lifted from your soul. Have a drink, say a prayer, or tell a little joke. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Even though it might have hurt your pride, life's too short to keep it all inside. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. And feel the weight lifted from your soul. Have a drink, say a prayer, or tell a little joke. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Have a drink, say a prayer, or take a little toke. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
All right, Brant, man, I haven't heard that one either, I don't think.
I'm just pulling them out of the who knows what, ether tonight.
So one thing I didn't mention is that I don't actually live in Sitka. I live on a little island outside of Sitka, and our internet's so bad out there that I had to come in and borrow a room in this building. And it's unheated. And I've been sitting here shivering, and You'd think that from Alaska we'd be a little bit tougher than that, but I don't know. Well, we have heat in our homes here, so. So anyway, this is a song that I wrote a while back. I wrote this song after reading a book called Primate Memoirs, and this book was about, it was written by this guy that spent his whole life studying baboons. And one of the takeaways I got from that is that really we as human beings haven't progressed much as far as emotionally and socially and from baboons. And so I wrote this song about that. I just wanna be king on that mountain, high up in my favorite shade tree. All below they'll be sweltering, dreaming of my sweet alpha pie. And when I'm king on that mountain, I'll be dishing out my own brand of pie. I keep all below so terrified, fighting for my sweet alpha pie. Well, I get that old sexy feeling when I run my fingers down your spine. The lower I go, the higher I get over that sweet alpha pie. When I fall from that mountain, I'll be dishing out my own brand of pie. And there'll be blood upon my trail, and some young buck he'll be swinging from the highest limbs in my tree, sucking on my sweet alpha pie.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yeah, I love that one too. That's a great one. Those baboons and us, I guess we're still a lot like them, like you said. Some of us more like than others, I guess. But
one of the really interesting things I learned from that book has nothing to do with music, but is that in the baboon world, the alpha position is always passed on from the, from a male that's getting old and out of shape, and it's always passed on to the youngest, most strongest, cruelest, meanest, successor. And the females, they have an alpha female too, but it's always passed on to the oldest daughter.
Oh,
I thought that was pretty interesting.
it is. It is interesting. Wow. Well, I'm going to do my next song's just about, being old, I guess. But it's more than that. Actually, it's from my last year's CD that I put out. And it's basically my philosophy, be it maybe a hopeful one, is that just like an good old guitar, we all get better with age. And and this is quite a tongue-twisting song, so I've got to put all my limited resources into trying to not get tongue-twisted. It goes like this. Well, I'll tell you, this is live Zoom because, I guess I can blame it on getting old, having the wrong harmonica in there. But it will sound better like this, I swear. I got a Martin flat top guitar, born in '53. She's worth more every year, and she's the same damn age as me. We both have lots of living and songs under our belts. She keeps on sounding sweeter, so do I, best I can tell. Of course we're vintage, yeah, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear. What a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking and picking. Ain't over the hill, still getting our fill. We're vintage. I got a good gal about my age, fine as she can be. She'll outlove and she'll outshine any girl of 23. We don't move quite as fast, but we sure arrive in style. It's all about the journey and it's all about the smile. 'Cause we're vintage, yeah, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear. What a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking and clicking. Ain't over the hill, still getting our thrill. We're vintage. We could rest on our laurels, but time ain't on our side. Too much to say, to do and play, so we'll play till we up and die. Yeah, we're vintage, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear. What a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking like the Dickens. Ain't over the hill, still getting our fill. We're vintage. Ain't over the hill, still getting our thrill. We're vintage. Ain't over the hill and we're loving it still. We're vintage.
Sounds very good, Brant.
Well, for an old guy, right?
This next song that I'm going to do is called Seeds, and it's a song that I wrote quite a while ago when I lived in a little tiny cabin on a little tiny island in southeast Alaska. I was single at the time. It's called Thousands of Seeds. Thousands of seeds falling from the sky to live and the rest will die. And when I look into your eyes, I feel like I'm falling from the sky. When love comes your way, should we know from the very first day? Millions of years have brought me here today. They're all lined up pointing the way. So I know there's something I'm to do. I just don't know with who. When love comes your way, should we know from the very first day? An ocean of tears has fallen on my floor. Still I hide a key under the door. I save my last and lonely dime, 'cause I know there'll be a time when love comes your way. Should we know from the very first day? When love comes your way, you will learn to say I love you.
Well, there you go. That's
a little bit closer.
Yeah, man, that's great. That's really, like I think I was telling you when I heard your little demo of it, it's kind of like a cross between Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and a little bit of the Beatles, and a lot of Vern Culp in there.
Well, thanks, Brant.
And that harmonizer is pretty cool too.
Yeah, hope
Or
it keeps
is
sounding out.
it a
okay.
harmonizer, or do you have somebody back there who?
Yeah, I keep her over there in the corner.
Well, let them come out. We gotta see their face. So here's a song that it's on my recent album, and it's actually one that I wrote when I picked the title of a song out of a jar at this folk music conference, where they said, we're going to challenge you to write a song if you want to try to do it. And so I picked this title out of the thing, and I wrote most of the song during the couple of days of the conference and performed it with the other folks that had done that at the end of the conference. And the title that I drew out of the jar was called No Interest in That. So it took a little while to figure out how I would come up with that angle, but it didn't take that long. If it didn't have a light glowing bright from a screen, if it didn't have some murder and mayhem in each scene, if I didn't get a buzz Once it entered my bloodstream, had no interest in that. No interest in that. If it wasn't in the tabloid stacked up in the checkout line, if it made me think too much after a long and hard day's grind, if a homeless guy was wanting, I would look away each time, had no interest in that. That's how I used to feel, that's how I used to be, until I stared into the eyes of a man who wasn't free. Against my better judgment, it became my concern. Now I just can't let it go, 'cause we've got no time to burn. If it doesn't come from love, if it doesn't lead to grace, if it doesn't bring a smile to at least one worried face, if it doesn't leave our planet just a little better place, got no interest in that. We all can have a vision, we all can have a dream, we all can make it true, as hard as it may seem. Alone it's all but futile, but together it will come, with a million hearts and minds working hard to get it done. If it doesn't bring some justice, if it doesn't bring some joy, if it doesn't fill the bellies of some hungry girls and boys, if it doesn't help to lift us from this dark and growing void, got no interest in that. No interest in that. Got no interest in that. No interest in that. I got no interest in that.
Oh, yeah, nice song, Brant. That's one of my favorite songs.
Well, thank you.
So apropos for today.
Great. Well, I'm going to do one more, and then you can finish it off. And here, and it's going to be another kind of one based on the last several years. You know, what's going on in our country, and you know, seeing how fragile our democracy really is. And I think it was somebody, I don't know, George Washington or one of the founders, who called our democracy in the country, the young country, the great experiment. And that's really what it is, because it's always changing and always trying to improve it. But lately, I'm not sure how it's working out. And this is just a little song based on that. Washington, so tall on his horse, snowed in deep at Valley Forge, tells his freezing men this is worth fighting for. Founders meet to forge our nation, it's tooth and nail, but they compromise. We the people are doing something that's never been tried. You know, we're all just part of the great experiment, figuring out what it means to be American. The Constitution is a pretty good plan, but we're still searching for the promised land. You know, we're all just part of the great experiment. Selma on that bloody Sunday, billy clubs on black and brown. John Lewis and his freedom marchers never backed down. Rosa across the Rio Grande works at Texas citrus groves. Her brother Pablo's in the army and she's so proud. You know we're all just part of the great experiment, figuring out what it means to be American. The Constitution is a pretty good plan, but we're still searching for the promised land. You know we're all just part of the great experiment. Different colors, different creeds, but everyone has sown their seed to help this nation grow and thrive. Now let's see if we can keep her alive. You know we're all just part of the great experiment, figuring out what it means to be American. The Constitution is a pretty good plan, but we're still searching for the promised land. You know we're all just part of the great experiment. The Constitution is a pretty good plan, but we're still searching for the promised land. You know we're all just part of the great experiment. You know we need more love in the great experiment.
Nice, Brant.
Thank you.
I like that a lot.
Thank you.
I keep wondering who's doing the experiment.
Right. And who's being experimented on? Yeah, we gotta keep up the fight. Keep up the love.
This last song that I'm going to do is a song that I actually just finished writing while I was setting up here. Last lines, and I'm going to try to do it, and hopefully I get all the current words and not some of them I threw away. Held me in the evening. We were shadows in the rain, but I believe in the morning. With God's grace, I'll be back again. We held each other tightly, and I thought I heard you say, these memories are my lifeline. Hold me tight today. I'll dance with you forever in the spring and summer wind, and when the winter snows are falling, we'll be laughing with our friends. But our love will last forever. It will never be undone. We will never be half of two. We will always be half of one. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening.
Beautiful. So, all right. Well, thanks again, everybody. And Vern, thank you for joining me. And maybe we can get this out to more people and say, hey, you might have missed us because Brant Miller was not a very good technical host, but you can still see it.
Well, Brant, I can say, man, you're way ahead of me on what you're doing there. I'm pretty darn impressed. I was kind of surprised it didn't work out.
Yeah, well, like I said, I kind of panicked there and hit the wrong button. It's like the button that says eject. You shouldn't hit that when you're,
flying your jet
unless you really want to eject. And I ejected. So, all right, everybody.
I know.
For listening.